how did you got into like electric cars? What made you get into electric cars?
Well, I needed a new car.
Yeah.
And I thought, all right, what am I going to get for my next car? I want something that I'll enjoy driving.
Yeah.
That's a thrill to drive. I'm not a car enthusiast by sort of any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I don't like driving. And I don't know, I think I was watching videos on YouTube and I saw a few come up for the Teslas, and I just thought, what a brilliant car. Great features, fun to drive. And when you don't really want to drive, if you want to be lazy like I am right now, put it into autopilot and it drives itself. Obviously hands on, or at least one hand on the steering wheel at all times, so you're in control, but it does all the hard work for you. It's whisper quiet, the sound system's great. That's one thing that really sold me as well, is I like listening to my music and my tunes, and just the stock system that comes with this is probably the best sound system that I've heard in any vehicle. The acoustics, they've just got them down pat. We're going around the corner here, it's braking on its own. It's constantly just keeping the same distance with the cars in front. So I don't have to worry too much anymore. Obviously keep your wits about you, but there's nothing I hate worse than the car just slowing down for no reason and then I'm speeding up.
Yeah.
So the car just does all of that for me, and it's just an absolute dream to drive.
This is awesome. Mummy, ये वाली गाड़ी लूँगा आपके लिए. ये सही है आपके लिए. My mum likes to drive something which can drive itself.
Oh, she will love the Tesla.
I know.
She will love the Tesla. Now, price, which is normally one of the first questions that gets asked. So these start in Australia at the moment for about $74,000 for the standard range plus. They claim it gets you about 460 kilometers on a charge. Maybe I'm getting closer to about 400. But that's because I'm also enjoying the car and, you know, accelerating a little bit here and there from the traffic lights, always within the speed limit. But the harder you push the car, the more battery it'll use. A little bit like a petrol car. It'll use more petrol when you rev it a little bit.
But it doesn't require any maintenance, no servicing.
The only maintenance you'll need is you'll have to refill the windscreen wiper fluid. You'll need to change the tires when they're ready to be changed, and the brakes, I've heard that they can last anywhere between 150,000 to 200,000 kilometers, depending on how you drive.
Use it, yeah.
If you're driving this correctly, you'll actually never need to touch the brake pedal. You'll basically just use the accelerator. So when you hit the accelerator like I am now, it's using power. When you take your foot off the accelerator, it goes into regen mode, and you'll see that. So at the moment I'm using power, but now it's generating power. But it's also slowing the car down at the same time, and it's charging the batteries just a little bit.
Oh, so while we are driving, it's charging.
Yep, so every time, if we go up a hill, it's obviously going to use battery power. Yep. If we're going down a hill, it's going to regen. Okay. And it factors all of that in. So right now we are going onto the on-ramp of the freeway south, and I'm gonna take it from 40 kilometers an hour to 80, and we'll see how quick that takes. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Go.
And we're a little bit over 80, so let's just slow down to 80 there. You know, sometimes your foot slips. I'm gonna chuck it into autopilot and let it drive over the Narrows Bridge.
So this is autopilot.
Yep.
It's so busy here, and it's gonna calculate everything itself.
Absolutely. So I've got it set to go 2 kilometers an hour over the speed limit, because that's the tolerance. Yeah. So it pretty much means you're going the speed limit. And so at the moment, see, we're going down on the other side of the Narrows. It was regenning just a little bit there. Now it's using just a little bit of power.
This is awesome.
Automatically slowing down now. We're coming up to the off ramp here. And I'm gonna have to find somewhere we can do a U-turn. There's some nice Ferraris going for a spin as well.
Oh yeah.
Or are they? I don't know what that was actually.
this would go to the same speed as Ferrari, right? Like pickup speed?
I believe the performance model, so this one, just the stock standard Model 3 standard range plus, which is what I've got, 0 to 100 in 4.5. I don't know what a Ferrari seconds.
Yep.
I don't know. I think a Ferrari is just a little bit quicker than that, but I know the Model X's and the Model S's, which are 1 step up and 2 step up from this model, they can do it in just over 2 seconds. They have got a lot of power and a lot of torque.
That's what I thought, because I was reading about Tesla today and they said it can go up to 0 to 100 in 2.5 seconds, and I'm like,
that's the real expensive ones.
Okay.
This is just the old cheapo model, but that being said, it is still a lot of fun to drive. So I'm going to reverse here. Oh, that is good timing.
And the stability
is great.
I know.
Feel that?
I know.
I don't want to go too crazy because I'm not a hoon. As I said, I'm not a hoon, I'm not a car enthusiast, but it's hard not to have fun driving this car. Whether you're a car person or not, it's just a thrill. It's an absolute thrill. You can pick up the pedestrian there.
That's so crazy. So what is the difference between Tesla electric and other electric cars which are available on the market? Have you tried
a lot of the time? Yeah, look, I test drove the Hyundai Ioniq, which to me, look, it was about 65 grand. It was about 10 to 15 grand cheaper than this, but to me it just felt like a $20,000 Hyundai. Just the interior, the feel of it. It didn't feel like a premium car. You've got the Nissan Leaf, which I think is around the $60,000 range. And again, both of us would struggle to probably fit. You know, I'm 6'3", you're a tall bloke yourself. It wouldn't be a comfortable ride, and it doesn't have the range. Whereas this is just so a nice combination.
Yeah. Even the seating arrangements, everything, like seats, everything is so comfortable.
So the seats, which might be a little bit tricky to see in the dark, they're made from what they're calling vegan leather.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to take it up to 80 here now. 3, 2, 1, let's go. And we're already at 80. So we need to slow down a little bit.
I think it was 1 point something seconds, right?
It was very, very short.
From 40 to 80 in seconds.
It's just instant. It is just instant.
It's crazy. It would make traveling so easy, like driving.
Easy and fun. Yeah. I think it's more fun for the driver than the passenger. I don't think they really appreciate when I put my foot down and their head hits the back of the seat.
I'm enjoying it,
but it's definitely
like a
fun.
G-force.
So at the moment, back into autopilot mode. That was the car correcting itself, and it's going to keep us in this lane. You can see the car in front of us. See, he's definitely not in autopilot because he's all over the road.
All over the road.
Whereas this will keep you exactly in the middle.
So we can see that the cars, it's actually reading the cars which are going next to us.
So I'm just going to come out of autopilot. I'm going to indicate left to get off at Mounts Bay Road. And indicate right. And it's so quiet.
I know, it feels like it's not even. So technically you don't have to start the car. It's always in.
It's always on. It's always on. It's just not in drive. See, this guy's checking us out. I think he wants to